So a lot of you guys reach out to me about buying a vacation home here, like an Airbnb. And then more recently, more people have been reaching out about buying long-term investments because they believe in what's going on in Orlando. I'm actually building an investment property myself. I've owned dozens of investment properties over my entire career. And so today we're going to take you by the townhome we're building and talk a little bit about the steps you should be thinking about if you're going to invest in Orlando or really anywhere. I'm looking for sponsors. Foxtail, you could bump out Starbucks. I would be a Foxtail guy if you guys were, sponsoring the podcast.
Hey, if anybody knows anybody that works at Foxtail, please tag them in this video.
Down below. Why don't we do this? I'm actually building, many of you guys know, I'm building a townhouse in Lake Nona with Craft Homes, and they actually just got bought out by Dream Finders. But anyways, I'm building a townhome as a long-term investment. A lot of you guys reach out to me because you want short-term rentals and maybe offsetting your vacation home. Short-term rentals are huge, right? There's plenty of people that own here in Orlando in like the Kissimmee area, Davenport, some of the more short-term zoned areas. And they're like, hey, listen, I want somebody to help me pay off my second home, get a little bit of Airbnb income, and then be able to use my spot for a couple weeks out of the year. And that makes total sense. Honestly, it's not the greatest investment, but it does let you zero base your investment property or zero base your vacation property. Because here's why. When you're working with somebody to handle your short-term rentals, they're going to be taking 30% off the top for marketing and cleaning fees and all of these other things. You're paying for the utilities of the house. There's just so much that you have to do to even break even on a house, right? On the short-term rental side. I'm not saying it's bad, but when you look at it from the investment standpoint, I think that long-term investment and investing in areas that are in the growth mode, that's where you're going to win. One other thing I would talk about with the short-term rental market is a lot of times people are, you're buying a house brand new, you have to furnish it, right? So that's one expense. It could be $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 to actually make those things make sense to get it ready to go. And then you've got somebody essentially, not beating up your house, but you've got somebody using your house at a high level. And so you're having to constantly keep it fresh because the tenants there on the short-term side, they want the newest neighborhood, the newest house, the newest amenities. And so really, if you want to keep the highest amount of dollar per night, you have to keep reinvesting in that asset. Whereas on the long-term side, really keeping carpet and flooring clean and the place clean, that's really what you're trying to do. And you can rent that thing out for years and years at a time. Investing in real estate is an interesting thing. There's a lot of different loans. If you're paying cash, obviously that's a lot easier, but there's a lot of different loans that you need to know about because mortgage companies are actually now getting disincentivized to use investor loans. And what I mean by that is some of them can only have 10% of their entire portfolio as investment property. So sometimes they're asking for more money down, higher credit. It's getting a little bit harder to invest in real estate. So if you guys have questions on the mortgage process, I've got a great lender that I can refer you to. But it's interesting because if you're buying it as a second home, you can actually put less money down. So the short-term rentals actually might be easier to get into financially on a down payment basis, but you also have to couple that with, does it need any furniture, any updates to get it ready to rent out? So we choose to be in the long-term rental game instead of the short-term. That's just our personal investment strategy. So why don't we do this? Why don't we roll over to the townhouse that we're building and we'll talk about numbers and what we're doing over there. All right, so let's talk about choosing your area because I think that's a big one. So for us, we chose Lake Nona because I do believe in what's coming here. You've seen my videos, you guys know. But there's plenty of people that are only cash flow dependent. They're like, I don't really care about the property if it increases at all. All I care about is making a couple $100 a month and eventually someone else will pay it off for me. I've got people that rent out in rough areas, right, that they're not going to get any appreciation, but their purchase price on that house was way less, obviously. So they can buy a lot more properties, get in, get out, that kind of thing. They're strictly looking at cash flow. For us, we chose Lake Nona because, again, I think that $350,000 or $360,000 townhome that we're going to purchase is going to be $450,000 within the next 5 or 6 years. For us, making the decision on where to buy is key. I think you have to look at proximity to jobs, proximity, obviously, our school is important. I think that better school districts are going to get better rents, and I can't tell you where those are. You have to do your own research, but looking at some things on like who your ideal tenant is, all these things are going to be important when you're looking at where you want to invest. On the commercial space, they look at they grade them. They're like A area, B area, C area, and obviously the A areas are going to get you the best return. They're also going to be the most expensive. So when you're looking at how much money do you have to put into this project, it's going to determine on can you really afford the A, B, or C areas. All right, so this property we bought for $365,000. The crazy thing is, we obviously haven't closed on it yet, but they're now selling this exact model for in the 390s. And so we're gonna close with $30,000 or $40,000 in equity. But honestly, even if it didn't appreciate, we would have still purchased it because we're looking at the long haul of what's coming to the area as really our end game. Someone else is gonna pay it off for us, and this allows us to leverage our money into a long-term asset. We chose this lot and it was like probably $15,000 more because we had a view out that way, which you'll be able to see it from the second floor, and then you've got a pond view over there, and then right there they're gonna have like a sick park, and then like you can see the VA from right here, the children's hospital is right down there, so like I could easily see somebody either a short drive or a bike ride to get back and forth. It'll be cool. So typically people don't do townhomes as like the best investment. I like it because I don't have to worry about changing out the roof. I don't change out the exterior paint. I don't have to worry about exterior maintenance. And yeah, I pay for that a bit. It's gonna be $330 a month on the HOA fee here locally in Lake Nona. And there's also a little bit of a higher CDD fee included in the taxes. But the cash flow, what people are willing to pay to be here, more than makes up for it and for me. So all in with the mortgage, because we're putting 25% down on this deal, the mortgage all in with the CDD, with the taxes, with the insurance, and the HOA fee is going to be $2,100 a month. So for me, it's going to cash flow a little over $300 a month, which is great. I'll set that money aside for when the next tenant moves out and if I have to need to do carpet or appliances or inevitably something happens to the property. But really for me, it's going to be pay down of the mortgage, right? Someone else is going to be renting this out, paying down our mortgage. So why should you think about investing in real estate? I think there's a lot of reasons. One, it's a great write-off, and right now with things that are going with higher taxes coming, that's like inevitable at this point, having a write-off is great. It's an opportunity for you to leverage some of your money into having someone else pay off an asset for you and have something for the future, right? There's been more millionaires made out of real estate than really any other industry. And so I think that's an opportunity for you to jump in. So if you're looking to invest in a property here in Central Florida, my team and I would love to be your real estate resource of choice. Many of us own investment properties ourselves, and so we're going to be able to help you along that path. So make sure you hit that subscribe button as we're putting out new videos every single week, and then reach out. My email is ken@positgroup.com. We'll see you guys on the next video.